Hi, today's video we're going to talk about tech assignments. Tech assignments is a feature within PDR Mobile where we allow our account owners to not only manage allocating jobs to technicians, but also commission agreements and tracking who owes who money. And we offer a very unique workflow around this. So today I'm going to walk through what that looks like. I'm going to start with how you establish a commission rate for a technician. And there's two places that you can do this within the app. The first being adding members to your account. If you want to add additional members to your account, when you do that, you set up a profile. Within that profile, you establish the commission rate. And what you're looking at now is the back office within PDR Mobile, and I'm at the members section. So when I select that, you can see there's a list of technicians here. And when I scroll over to the right, you see that I have established their commission rate. There's also other things we do in this feature around role and visibility of jobs, so there's some collaborative opportunities there too. The other place where you would establish commissions is through projects. So if you're familiar with projects in the site in the app, what you would have to do is set up a project. That project establishes where you're going to be working, and within that project, you set up sites. So I've got, in this example, I've got two projects established, one in Tucson and one in Phoenix. So let's go into the Tucson project, and I have one site. So I can invite technicians to this repair facility as an example, if it was a body shop, or I could have multiple sites in here. And when I do that, when I invite a technician to the site, I can set their commission agreement. So what you see here is two techs invited. I'm going to go ahead and go into Gordon, and he is set up at a 20% commission. So this is going to flow through the app all the time. So when it comes to invoicing, his commission rate is already going to be established, and the calculation is going to happen on the back end, making it super simple for everybody to understand who owes who money. So let's get into how to do the tech allocation. There's two ways you can assign technicians. Within the flyout menu, you see assign tech here. That feature allows you to pick a single technician and allocate that person to multiple jobs. What that means, though, is that person has to be doing 100% of that job. If you have multiple technicians doing work on a single car, then I'll show you the other way to do that. Let's just walk through that workflow real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and select Gordon. It's going to pull up the list of available vehicles that I can select for Gordon. So in this case, I'm going to pick this 15 Chevy and this 16 Caravan, and I can just multi-select as many as I want. The list is going to come up for you to verify. Yep, those are the two vehicles I'm going to assign to Gordon. And now at the bottom, you're going to see gross and net. You have to establish how you're going to split that commission with that technician. Either the 20% in this case for Gordon off of gross, or if it's going to be off of net. The net would be net of the discount that you give. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep it as gross for now. So now that's done. You've allocated that technician. As you can see on the 15 Chevy at the top, on the right hand underneath the P, you see tech-Gordon. So you can see that throughout the app and who's been assigned to what jobs. Pretty simple way to do that. Now, well, let's say I made a mistake and I didn't want, I selected that vehicle and that really wasn't Gordon's job. I can do a slide on the iOS or long hold on Android. I go into the More feature, and at the bottom I delete assignments. And it's just going to ask me, are you sure you want to delete? I'm going to say yes. Now, as you can see, Gordon is removed from that. So the other way that you can assign technicians and multiple technicians is the same way that we just deleted. So I slide that over. I'm going to say assign tech, and it's going to pull up lists. So in this case, I'm going to pick two technicians on this job. One's doing PDR, one's doing R&I. We'll have Gordon do R&I, and we'll have Bill Android do PDR. Tap on next, and now I come to the screen where we establish who gets what. Now, automatically, it's going to default to, when you have however many, more than one, it's going to default to split evenly. So if we had 3 techs or 4 techs, it would split the gross amount of the estimate as it's out illustrated right now evenly. So in this case, it's 50-50. If it was 3 people, it'd be 33.33%, and so on. 4 people, 25%. So for demonstration purposes, I just want to show you a couple of things you can do. If you do not want to split that evenly, you toggle that off. I can go into Gordon. I can tap on the 50% and change that. Let's say I want to pay Gordon 70%. I tap on Done. I go back into Bill Android and I assign remainder. There's the 30%. Now I've just switched the 70-30 split. Okay, I'm going to push that back in 50-50 now. Now, what if I want to do this by panel? Which is really what we intend to do anyways. Gordon's going to be the R&I guy, and Bill's going to be the PDR guy. So now I just select panel. I go into Gordon. On the bottom, you're going to see PDR, what's highlighted in orange. That's the current R&I, which I've just selected. That's all the R&I work on this vehicle. And replace, if there's replace, and there isn't. So since Gordon's doing R&I, he's going to do all of it. I can select this individually, or I can select all in the upper right-hand corner, which is what I just did. And then I'm going to go Done. That's 8 operations. I'm going to go into Bill. I'm going to select all because he did all the PDR work there. Done. As you can see in green, it says operations remaining 0. That means we've allocated 100% of this job. And based on gross, it's always going to calculate gross, even if you switch to net, because our system doesn't know what the discount is yet. So your calculation at the assignment level is always going to be based on the gross dollar amounts of the job. We're going to leave it in gross. We can put it as net on the invoicing side. So this is how the commission split's done. Really simple workflow. I tap on Done. And you'll see here on this 15 Chevy, it says tech and multi. That means you got multiple techs assigned to that. So what does this look like in the actual invoicing workflow? So let's say this job is complete. I'm going to go ahead and create an invoice. The invoice is the trigger for the tech allocation and commission agreement piece to come to live. And I'm sure you're aware that you have the ability to deselect when you invoice. So if there's things that weren't done by the technicians, you can deselect at the invoice level. In this case, we're going to continue that we did all the work. This is invoice number 116. There is a 5% discount. So since we selected net, the commissions are going to be based after the discount's taken, and I'll show you that in a minute. So I'm going to save this invoice. I'm going to say no, I don't want to email it. As you can see the I icon, that means it has been invoiced. I'm going to go to my accounting screen. I'm going to go to invoices. Just want to show you. In my open invoice, there's invoice number 116 at the top for $1,699. Here's the really cool feature. Here's what I owe the technicians. So it says Gordon. It has 14-116. So the 116 references the account owner's invoice. In the 14 references in Gordon's, he's an account owner in PDR Mobile as well. It references his invoice number. So now everybody's got transparency of who owes who money. So when Gordon logs into his app, he sees an invoice 14-116 for $53.01. And you can see Bill Android in there for $667.97. So let's go into one. Let's go into Gordon's. And this is how the invoice to the technician looks per job. So it just says that PDR Mobile in this case is payable to Gordon. It gives the work that that individual did, in this case all R&I work. There's the total, $279, the discount, $13.95, and the net total, $265.05, and his commission on that's $53.01. Now, from here, on the upper right, you see a P. You can mark this as paid. If you've paid the technician already, this is another way that you can keep track of if you've paid somebody or if you still owe them. All you need to do is tap on that P, and success has been paid in full. So that's how tech assignments are managed within the PDR Mobile. As you can see, it's a very straightforward tool. And we also have a back-end reporting where you can manage your tech pay over time with date ranges and all that. That'll be another video coming. So I hope this was helpful, and thank you for being a PDR Mobile user.